What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's Proper Royals Live. Sorry, I know we're about a 6-minute delay. Me and Jeremy got into hanging out a little bit. That, I'm not sure which side he's on from my picture. That is Jeremy Baud from Baud's Exotic Reptiles down in St. Petersburg, Florida. You might know him from the Daytona NARBC show. You might know him from YouTube with all his followers, busy on Instagram, Morph Market. And you see all those tubs behind him. So that's why he's here tonight. So welcome, Jeremy. Oh, my gosh. Look at them all.
Oh,
now you're just bragging.
All right, behind that, too.
Let me hit the music, and we will start this show. There it is. Yeah, so welcome. It is, I guess the date doesn't matter, but it's October 12th. It's 8 p.m. on the East. We do this every Tuesday night. Jeremy's the guest tonight, and I predict he'll be back in the future. I hope he will. But, Jeremy, tell us about yourself. Tell us about Baud's Exotic Reptiles. What do you got going on? And hit it.
Baud's Exotic Reptiles, I started. This is my 4th year breeding, going into my 5th. Out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Ball pythons is what we're breeding now, but we have some ornate uromastics, some Ackie monitors, and a couple other lizards that we are looking forward to breeding in the future. Actually, the lizards is my wife's thing, so if you have any questions about that, she's probably the one to ask. But yeah, that's what we got. I got about, 150 animals, probably, I'd say about 60 female breeders. Hoping to have around 35 clutches this year, this coming season. And I'm on Instagram, Baud's Exotic Reptiles, YouTube, like you were saying, Facebook. Yeah.
I didn't know you had that scope. So you got 60 breeding females.
Probably, like the season that just ended, I had about maybe 40, 50. But this coming season, I'll have some more grown up to that size,
Yeah.
So I got a couple first-time moms that are, pushing about 35 to 1,400 grams. So,
and so you'll flirt with 200 hatchlings this year, then, or this season.
We hope so. We'll see. I mean, I was expecting 35 clutches this season, 2021, but I only ended up with 17, I think. 17. Actually, I got one more that just ovulated, or she's ready to have a pre-shed, so it'll be 18 clutches. Okay. So yeah, this year was weird. It's like I had a lot of girls, I think, that reabsorbed for some reason.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of others had that too. And Ozzy once said, like, every 5 years that happens. It's like, for some reason, you'll get one bad year, but then the next year you'll really blow up. So I'm hoping that that's what happens, because if that does happen, I'm pushing for like a bunch of, obviously with the odds, hopefully, but double visual recessive. So
yep.
See.
Very cool. So, all right. So speaking of that, what double recessives are you working? What do you got in the pipeline?
I don't have, the only double recessive that I have that's visuals. I got a pair of candy pieds that I picked up from a friend of mine.
Real cool.
A lot of my other stuff is just hets. Like I have a genetic stripe puzzle. These are all hets when I'm saying these.
Yeah.
So double het genetic stripe puzzle, double het clown pied, double het desert ghost clown. I got some Cryptons that are also, I guess you can call those triple hets if you want to say that, because they're cryptic clown and desert ghost. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Let's dig in on those in a little bit. I got a special bullet point just for the Cryptons tonight.
Okay.
So let's see. Before we jump in too far, I usually give a quick week in review on Proper Royals. It's been cool. We got I've been feeding hatchlings. I did a live stream that you could still go back and view of all the snakes that I have for sale, and some of them have sold. But if you want to check out what I have left, just let me know. Shoot me an email at properroyals@gmail.com. Only about half of them are on Morph Market. I'll put the others up if they don't sell. So that was cool. And then I am working. You'll probably know what snake it is, except I'm going to mess up their name. Never mind. I got the newest edition of the coolest ball python in the world coming out this week. It's one that everybody's kind of seen if you're like super nerdy in the hobby, but I got in touch with the guys that produced it. They worked with me a little bit. So that'll be out. I'll probably have that out Sunday, to be honest with you. Did the Jacksonville Repticon this weekend. Not bad. I did get to see George MD. You ever work with George at all, Jeremy, or meet him?
Oh, yeah, I talked to him. I've got a couple animals from him, actually.
Yeah.
He's a real nice guy.
He's a cool dude,
really
man.
good stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So it's always good to see him. I always like to give a quick shout out to him. And hello to everybody in the audience tonight. We got 403 Fauna. Mark, good to see you. Thank you for the support. Mark was there hanging out on Sunday on the live stream sale. Jordan's back. Jordan hit me with one of the best one-liners. He was like, "Oh, ads that I can't fast forward through," when I was doing like my promo links and all. So Jordan, it's good to see you. Good Citizen News. I think it's the first time you're joining. Thank you. And Eric's Morph Factory. I hadn't seen you before either. Thanks for coming in tonight. If any of y'all check out that stream of what I have for sale and decide you want to buy something, and if you came to see Jeremy or from Jeremy's links, let me know in the inquiry. I'll do an easy 10% off if you're coming. Anybody watching this, anybody from the YouTube can get that, but I'll help out anybody that Jeremy brought over, and I appreciate y'all being here. So, Jeremy, give us the background. I know the recent stuff, but you said there's a lot more from prior to the 4 years of breeding. So give us the background of your operation.
Yeah, well, my first, let's see, I had a ball python, a green iguana, and a Savannah monitor, and this is probably 25 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, like 27 years ago, because I had them for a few years. And then when my daughter was born, my first daughter, she was 25 years old. And back then, Savannah monitors, and they told you put it in a tank, small tank, put a heat rock in there, and they didn't have the nice lids and the equipment they have these days, so you had to put a screen top on with a book and things like that. And the Savannah monitor, they told you throw a live rat in there, didn't tell you what size, and then those things are vicious, at least the way I was told to take care of them back then. Yeah. So I just grab the rat and sit there and just tear it up. One day it got loose. And we had a little apartment, we have a 6-month-old daughter. My wife calls me up. She's standing on the couch. She calls me up. She's like, it's running around, it's hissing and it's going crazy, So I had to leave work, go home and try to catch this thing. It took me like 2 hours to catch it because, it's just running all over the place and vicious. I mean, you had to put 2 pair of leather gloves on just to, do anything with it.
Yeah.
So after that, she's like, you know what? And, me too. We're like, our daughter is more important. It's not worth, taking any chances. Yep. So that's when we got rid of the animals, gave them good homes and everything. And then I'd say probably 5 years ago, my youngest daughter wanted a blue-tongued skink. And she's looking all over the place for it. I didn't even know what a blue-tongued skink was. Yeah. And she ends up finding one. And then, I don't know, we just started watching videos, and of course Barcheck, like everybody else, seeing that, and we ended up going in a pet shop. I was actually looking probably to pick up a lizard, and then I seen a banana ball python. Never seen them before. Like the snake's head was just a normal. 25 years ago, it was unheard of to see anything crazy, So I saw a banana. I still have it, or him. He's still up there. But seen that, and then it just kind of opened up from there. Then we ended up buying a second one and a third one. And then I think on Craigslist it was Craigslist. I seen somebody that had 10 animals for sale. They were moving out of the state, so I went in there and bought a collection, and I actually ended up keeping, I think, 3 of them. And for the amount that I paid, I actually had the rest sold before I got home with the animals. So I actually made all my money back. Plus I got to keep the ones I got to keep. Yeah. And the rack with it, and I did that a couple times. Yeah. And I was actually breeding the very first year that I had snakes, because these animals, they're like full grown adults, and the one person was leaving state, so that's why he was trying to give me goats and stuff too. But anyways, so these are like proven breeders, or not proven breeders, but they're adult size, and obviously first year. So, and back it up a little bit, through the years of me and my wife being together 27 years now, we've actually had birds and bred them, and we always loved animals. She likes mammals. We had a rabbit, we had a ferret, some other things,
right?
But never really got back into the reptiles until like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, after the first year, we had 2 clutches, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
And we went to our first Repticon and just seeing all the different craziness, and it's like, wow. I mean, of course, like everybody else, they won't want everything. And then like everybody else, they want to be big like Barchek, and have racks and thousands and stuff like that. And then, what's up, Mike? Mike Smith, he's my mentor. He's the one that actually showed me how to palpate and, a bunch of other stuff he showed me in the beginning. I used to bring the collections over to his store, and he would sex them for me. And, sometimes what was sold to me as a female would be a male, and, things like that.
Yeah.
But every time I go to a store, like one time I went there, I think I had 27 animals that I bought in the collection. And he's like, oh, geez, all right, put them there. Start popping them for me,
Oh, cool. Does Mike still have his store?
Yeah, he actually, Mike, if you can, put your address and where you're at in the comments. So,
yeah, please do, Mike.
Yeah, he moved. Where's Mike up in Gainesville now, right?
No, Zephyr.
Zephyr? No, it's not Zephyr. Well, he'll put it up there.
I forget.
But yeah, he still has a store. It's not local to me anymore, so I don't see him too much.
Okay.
We do still work together, though. Actually, we have 2 clutches that we split. So.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's pretty good.
Very cool. Mike, thanks for joining tonight.
What's that?
I was saying thanks to Mike for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. First, I love hearing stories of mentorship, whether it's with snakes or whether it's just in life in general, is really, really great. So
you got to have someone to help you out.
Yeah.
Someone to show you things. I call him up if I got something that's funky or whatever, and he always helps me out. I've only been doing this 4 years, and I'm still a rookie. I'm new. I'm a newbie. I'm learning basics still. So
yeah. But we can all learn from each other, and more than I know, and somebody else like Mike might know more than all of us, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Mark says he got a Mark is 403 Fauna. Mark says he got a snake from Mike last year. Very cool.
Yeah, I think our third one was from Mike. The lesser hat clown that we got. One of our third snake that we got.
So Mike, what's the name of your store as well? If you throw it up there, I'll post it as well.
It's Morph Mart.
Oh, Morph Mart.
Yeah, he had it before Morph Market. So
smart. Very cool. Mike, I'll be traveling some this year. I'm going to come down and I'll stop in on my way through. I've got, like I said, I think I'm going to do the Tampa Repticon show. And then in December, I've got to go down to Punta Gorda. I'm playing music down in Punta Gorda, and then I'm going to work my way back up playing gigs and checking out Reptiles. And that's the same weekend as the Orlando show. So I'll make Orlando for that Sunday when I'm on my way back up from Punta Gorda. So sorry, we got distracted by the comments. So you were telling me earlier you had a lot of hets. Did I catch that you're expecting some double het visuals this year, or you have possibilities for it this year?
I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, I got a couple. I got 2 or 3 girls. One's a proven breeder. She's only a double het pied clown. I have a visual pied 100% het clown, and then the male that I'm using is a clown het pied. So there's no other codoms in there. Right now I'm just trying to get the double visual, a male actually. And I do have pastel. I think, what do I have on that? Double het clown, desert ghost. I think I got 5 girls in that project.
Okay.
Oh, no. Actually, that one ended up being my biggest. I got 8 or 9 because I got a couple hatchlings over there now that I kept back.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I think I got 3 girls that I'm hoping will go for me. the proven breeder, she took off last year. I paired her. She, did all her stuff, went off feed and all that, and had the look and everything.
Yeah.
And then she started eating again. So I don't know if she reabsorbed. So we'll see. Hopefully she goes this year. And then her daughter, which is she's like 1,700 grams. Let me go grab her real quick. Oh, she just shed too. Yeah, this girl here, I'm hoping will go for me. Just a regular pied, but she's 100% het clown.
Oh, she's great looking.
Yeah.
The body looks great on her too.
Yeah. So let me hold it up to the camera.
Oops, hang on here. There you go.
Yeah, but I'm hoping she goes for me this year. And I actually threw a male shed in there. That's one of the tricks that Mike told me, to kind of boost their follicle growth. Is you can throw a male shed inside the tub. Sometimes you can wipe sperm on them, or
right,
to try to boost their follicle growth. So I'm hoping for that.
That my big female that's actually het cryptic that's exactly what she did last year. Eating like crazy, build like crazy, glowing, bowl wrapping, stops eating after pairing. I was like, yes, it's happening. Nothing. So hopefully that means she bounces back huge this year. She's up around right at about 2,500 grams now. And I've been pairing her with my visual clown. So like going after the Cryptons and the 100% het clowns.
Yeah. Now I got 2 Cryptons and 1 double het female, Desert Ghost Clown, that I'm hoping they're about 1,400 grams, and I still got a couple months of feeding, and then they eat really good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can get them the size. They'll probably be around, 18 months old or something before I start pairing them. So
in January.
Yeah. So we're hoping that those go for us, because if that happens, then then you're talking Clown Desert Ghost or Desert Ghost Cryptons, and then the males I got a male from Ozzy, which is a Black Magic, which is actually a black pastel Mojave, and it's double het Desert Ghost Clown. He's about 900 grams, something like that. And another one I got from Will Moreau's RCR. He's a pig breeder, because I got a clutch of his in the incubator. But it's a Cypress Orange Dream honey, which honey I just kind of learned when I got that animal. It's in the Bell Complex.
Okay.
I don't know what a straight honey looks like, but maybe I'll find out.
Right.
So that one is also it's double het Desert Ghost Crypton. So it's either going to be het cryptic or het clown. We don't know. And the clutch that's in the incubator, I paired him to a pastel Enchi Desert Ghost. So I won't find out if it's, unless the female ends up being cryptic too. It's her first time, but got eight eggs out of that. So I have at least some visual combos that, that's the one I said probably could be like a $30,000 clutch, if the odds work in my way. So be my biggest one so far.
Hey, I hope it happens, man. And I think that's great. I think it's cool. And so you pair pretty much year round, or do you focus in the kind of the winter 6 month, or what's your strategy?
I kind of look at them and feel them, and I got an ultrasound recently. I'm still trying to figure it out. I really need somebody that has one that knows how to really work it, show me. I mean, I could know how to use it when they're like 10 millimeters or larger, but when they're like 5 or less, it's kind of hard for me. I don't know if I have some settings I got to work with or whatever. Right. Normally I could tell by just the feel, how they're eating and stuff like that. And like I said, Mike Smith, he taught me how to palpate. So if I palpate, I could feel something in there. Then that's when I like throw something and, throw a male in with them. Yeah. So you kind of learn that after, it takes a little bit. It's not learning the look of a female that's, that you're trying to breed is something that you learn. You can't really be taught that. You gotta know your animals and know how they look. Sort of like if you see a snake and it looks like when it's laying, even though it's solid and all that, but it's kind of flat looking versus when they're really, I don't know, what's the word I want to look for? Just round and
they're solid. Like stout. Yeah, they're solid. Yeah. Yep.
So when they're round and solid, that to me that's when I start throwing a male in there. And I only throw a male in once a month. You don't need to do any more than that. When I first started, every week.
Yeah.
Throwing a mallet, I'm excited. It's our first time. And
yeah, of course.
I remember the first slop. We're dancing around in the living room. And I actually got my wife good one time. The very first clutch, I threw a hard-boiled egg. And my mother was over. I threw a hard-boiled egg, and I'm like, "Oh, we got eggs." And I pull it open. She looks. She starts dancing around. My mom's there watching her and stuff. But yeah. And she got mad when she found out it was a hard-boiled egg.
I remember it was one morning before we took our son to school. I was like, "There's it there." I think my wife was like, she takes it seriously, but she also knows that like I love just crazy projects and endeavors, so she was like, well, we'll see. And I was like, I swear these girls have ovulated, they have shed, these eggs are coming, it's happening. And it was like, this day, no, that day, no, that. And the fourth day after I said they were going to happen, boom, there's I was like, there's eggs. Get them in the incubator.
The first clutch is always, well, I don't want to say it's always the most exciting, because I get excited on all of them.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like I'm really excited for this one. I got to wait 2 months though, or actually,
like as you improve and ladder up, it's got to always be exciting. I mean, in theory, yeah, maybe you're producing some just to sell to keep the lights on, but in theory, we're always improving while we're breeding,
Yeah, and that's another thing we can get into. And I think we were talking before we actually went live, and I was saying that, when I first got into it, like a lot of others, they see the bar checks and, these people that have hundreds and thousands of racks and stuff set up.
Right.
And, like most other people that kind of get into it, that's like what their dream is. I want to be like Barcheck and, all these other people that have that many. But I like the way Ozzy does. Ozzy Boyd's, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like the way he does it. He only has, I'm not sure how many he has, but he has maybe 300 or something.
Yep.
That he breeds, and he keeps them in a rotation. Now, the racks that I have, I do have, like this rack here is a 5540, but it's 14 tall. There's nothing in there yet. We just, invested in some racks and stuff just to get it all at once, because when you get a bigger order, the shipping's a little cheaper and stuff like that.
Right.
So I have a lot more racks than I have snakes. I got a whole nother rack that's in parts right here because they missed some parts. But when all the racks have exactly 148 spots for females, for breeder females. And that's all I want. I don't want anything more than that. And as my hatchlings that are better growing up and get to that size, then I'll do like Ozzy does, and I'll sell my females that are proven breeders just to upgrade them. Right. I have other friends that breed animals. I have a friend of mine that I talk to all the time. He's got 600 animals. Every time I call him, he's like, man, I'm still working. He works 16-hour days. He goes to shows all the time. He loves what he does, but man, I don't know if I want to, I'm going to be 50 years old. I don't know if I want to work 16-hour days, and do all that. So I think if I'm at, sorry about that. I think if I'm at, 148, that's how much rack space we have for adults. That's all I want to keep. And I'll just keep upgrading my stuff. And you said something about, just breeding stuff to sell to keep the lights on. I do some of that, but I'm at the point now where I try to, like all my pairings, I try to do something where there's something I'm going to hold back.
Right.
I don't want to just, breed stuff just to sell. I want to dig something out of there. I mean, yeah, you can sell stuff. There's somebody else that he bought a bunch of bells and he's breeding bells to bells because they sell, but I don't know. To me, opening up a clutch full of nothing but white snakes, is kind of boring. You already know what's going to happen with it and all that. So I want to get to the point where I'm close there, but I want to get to the point where every clutch and every pairing that I do, it's going to be something that I'm holding back, or I just won't breed it, Yep. So.
And that's where I'm at. At one point, I did own some bells specifically for that, and then, to be honest, one was it would only eat mice, man. God, it's just slow grower, picky girl. Would eat like one or two mice. That's it at a time, and it was just a constant battle. And I was like, somebody buy this as a pet, man. This isn't going to work.
You're going to get that. You're going to get some picky feeders. I mean, I've got animals that, they go off feed 6-7 months, and then all of a sudden one day they go on. There's different tricks you can try and things like that. But, in the beginning, like most others that, get a snake for the first time, or a ball python, I should say, they freak out if it doesn't eat. Like within the first couple of weeks, they start freaking out, and stressing out, and worrying, and messaging and stuff like that. But after you're kind of used to it, you just know how they are. They will eventually eat.
I'm trying to tell there's a customer I'm working with right now, and I feel bad because I'm not saying this to make her feel bad. I'm actually saying it to share the information, just what you're saying. She got really, and it all comes from a good place for her. So again, it's not me knocking her, and I appreciate her as a customer for sure. But after, 2 or 3 weeks, the snake didn't eat. You got to remember, it just got shoved in a box, shipped overnight. Who knows what FedEx did with it? Went from Florida to New York, and everything that goes with all that stress. Now it's settling in, clearly being treated as a pet and handled. And she took it to a vet. And the vet's like, oh, well, we need to give it some vitamins. Well, that means sticking a tube down its throat. So now it freaks out the snake again. And then she said, oh, and then the vet injected it with something to make it hungry. And I'm like, you gave the thing a shot too?
You don't want to mess with that kind of stuff.
You don't need to do that. And I just said, as kindly as I could in the email, just leave that snake alone. Don't touch it for a month and put one mouse in there. And if that doesn't work, do it again in another month. It's a 700 gram animal. It knows how to eat, and it's fine.
It didn't get 700 grams from not eating. So
that's right, and it's healthy. It's fine, and you just got to let it be. That's that personality of that animal. And
well, you got to think. I mean, most people that are breeding got some kind of rack system like that, whether it's a homemade one, whether it's clear tubs, whatever, but. They're, they come out of the incubator, they're in a small little tub, and they just, depending on how long you have the animal for, they're growing up in the tub with, belly heat and all that stuff. And then usually the first time snake owners, they're going to put it in a tank. So not only is it a different environment and, different elevation going to New York, it's going into a totally different type of enclosure than what it's used to, and it's so
thankfully she does have it in a tub, and she's got a few other ball pythons. And I was like, if you're not familiar that it can go off of food, again, no judgment of her. We don't know what we don't know, but I was telling her this is going to happen with your other. I only have, well, I got my 15 hatchlings, but I got 18 snakes right now, and I got 3 or 4 of them. Like you say, they haven't eaten in months, and they'll eat when they want to eat. I make sure that they're safe, they're fine, their water's fresh, their cage is clean. I check them daily just like all the others, and they'll come around. They're going to be fine.
That's another reason why what I do is a 5 consecutive meal rule. I don't sell any of my animals unless they had 5 consecutive meals. Now, if they miss a week, that starts over again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just how I do it. That way they got some size to them, and if they miss a few weeks or whatever after they're sold or whatever, it's not going to hurt the animal.
That's right.
I'm surprised how long an animal can go without food.
They can, and and I know we're preaching to the choir here, but yeah, they're made for long-term difficulties, not for somebody just dangling a mouse in front of them every week. Like they might not need it, Yeah. So on your hatchlings, what percentage how often do you see that you need to assist feed your hatchlings? What percentage of the hatchlings?
I'll answer that, but I want to tell you this year I've only had 17 clutches, or I think maybe that other girl there's our 17th. This year I've had so many firsts. My first set of twins.
Cool. Oh yeah, I saw your video of it too. That was cool.
Now the twins, they're both banana enchies. One's a male, one's a female. Came from a female mother, so the male's going to be a female maker. Now female, I had to assist feed. I had to assist feed it twice, but she's eating good now. She's had her last 2 meals good, but I'm not even going to put her up for sale till she's like 100 grams at least, even though she'll probably have, I don't know, 15 meals before she gets to that, because, you know, twins, they come out little. And then I had my first animal that was born with no eyes. That one I've been having to assist feed. She's eaten one meal by herself. And then I've had to assist feed her the last 2 times. Actually, I got to do it again. And what I do is I offer a very small hopper mouse. Yep. And then if she doesn't eat it that week, I'll just offer it every couple of weeks. And then after like 3 or 4 weeks, then I'll just assist feed her again. Hopefully that, you know, waiting that long gets her hungry enough to start eating on her own. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
What timing do you usually do? And I asked, you're probably catching on. I've got a couple that I've got to assist feed. I think it's been over a month since hatch, and they've not ever eaten.
All right, what do you have them
on? Hoppers.
No. I mean, like, tell me your process. They're in the incubator. They hatched. Then what do you do?
Oh. They're in the incubator. They hatch, and then I leave them in their tub together on wet paper towel. But I do put them on a hatchling rack. I did take them out of the incubator because I had 2 clutches. I didn't want to be checking them open and closing the incubator.
Yeah, I need to start doing that. But anyways, when you put them in the hatchling rack, what do you have them on? Just a paper towel?
Just a paper towel and all together, and one little solo cup and a PVC. You know, a little 2-ounce cup of water.
And then when they shed, do you separate them?
Yes, once they shed, I separate them.
What do you keep them on when they shed?
Same setup on that.
Paper towel?
And then paper towel. The ones that haven't eaten, I've moved over to cocoa to try them on top of cocoa feeding.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, if you're keeping them on paper towel, try switching them to cocoa. Sometimes that gets them going.
Yeah.
A month, I would say, I don't know, Mike, maybe you can tap in if you're still here, but I would say a month, maybe 5 weeks, and then maybe even 6 weeks, and then maybe think about trying the assist feed.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the animal, you know, I mean, if it's very small and skinny looking, you know, I mean, I've hatched out things that were like 93 grams, you know. So.
Yeah. One is the one I'm concerned with. She's down under 40 grams now. The other 2 are in that 60 to 70 range. So I'm going to let them be for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Now back to your question, my percentage. Last year, I think I had 1 that had to assist feed.
Wow. And
we had over 100 hatchlings.
Yeah.
This year, let's see, the no-eyed girl, the twin, and then I had another one with a bubble eye. I guess I don't know what you call it.
I saw that, yeah.
And that one there, I just had to assist feed. And I seen I posted the picture, it was on YouTube. And somebody actually said that Kevin McCurlick with Nerd did a video on that recently. Yep. So I watched it, and it's the same exact thing that's going on with mine. Not sure if her eye is going to be good or not, but I've been draining it, like he said, and it goes down. And then after a few days, it starts to puff back up again, and I just drain it again. And that's what Kevin was saying in the video. I don't know if you watched it or not, but he said eventually. I
saw that he had a video, but I have not watched his video. I watched yours, but not his, though.
Yeah, he was saying after, usually it stops after a little bit. So I'm hoping it does.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I did not know. I didn't catch that part. I was going to ask what the end game is there.
Yeah, hopefully she does, because she's like a $1,200 animal, but I'm keeping her because she's
right.
She's spot nose pastel het clown female, and that's what I was trying to make.
Cool. There it is. Yeah, that's what you're after. Yeah. Yep.
Now he says he does it 4 weeks, so after 4 weeks, then start assist feeding.
And then what break do you give in between? So you assist feed it, then what?
I assist feed, then I offer the following week, and if it doesn't, then I offer the second week, and if it doesn't, then maybe 2 or 3 days after that, I'll try it again.
Okay.
Depending on how she looks or how it looks or whatever.
Yep.
It kind of depends on that for me, anyways. I mean, I don't think there's any. I mean, you could probably wait 3 or 4 weeks if you wanted to, but I always try to offer like 2 more times after assisting, and a lot of times they go back on it.
Yeah.
My only issue is with the girl with no eyes. She's only eaten 1 time on her own, and I was hoping that would be good. That was it.
Oh, I bet that was a crazy good day for you when you saw that happen.
Yeah, but then it's been like the last 4 or 5 meals I had to assist feed. And the thing is, you got to do kind of smaller, because you don't want to shove some, you don't want to give something.
Yeah, you don't want to be too traumatic. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So this year, I would say, I don't know, man, maybe 4 or 5%. Because I had 2 or 3 animals that I had to do that. All right, now back to my firsts. So I had the bubble eye.
Yeah.
Then I had the twins, and then I had the no eyes. Oh, the last one. I had a Partho clutch.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So,
the thing
before you tell that, wait a minute. You should give the intro to what Cryptons are heading into that Partho baby.
Okay, so actually Mike Smith, he's the guy that we did a split with. He sent over a couple animals, clown girls, and then I put my male Desert Ghost Pastel Het Cryptic. Now a Crypton is basically like a Candino. Kind of works the same thing. Like Candy and Albino, they're allelic, and it basically ends up being a recessive, but it's like 2 half recessives, I guess.
Yeah, you get a visual from 2 hets.
Yeah, and that's basically the same thing with a Crypton. If you have a Crypton, when you breed it with a clown, you're not gonna get any like normals. Everything's gonna be either Cryptons or clowns. So it kind of works like a recessive. So the pairing that I have is a pastel Desert Ghost Het Cryptic, and I put it to a visual clown. So I got some Crypton. Everything's 100% Het Desert Ghost, but I did get some Cryptons in the clutch. And what was the question? Did I answer it or did I lose you?
No, you got the Partho thing in there because if explaining that proves why you have to have one of them must have been a Partho.
Yeah. All right. Now, how I know it's a Partho is how do you say that? Parthomogenic? Am I saying that right? Parthomogenic. Parthologenic. I don't know, something like that.
Parthenogenesis. Yeah.
Parthenogenesis. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so what that is like if you have a female, you can actually have a female that you never even paired a male to, and she can actually ovulate and lay a clutch and be a viable clutch. But everything that's in that clutch is going to mimic the mother. Now, recently I found out that you can have, say like a pastel, like you can have a codom where it'll double up on the codoms, which is kind of weird. Oh,
really? Okay.
Yeah. So I believe that clown that's in there is a super pastel, which the mother was a pastel clown. So it actually doubled up on the codom on the pastel. And
on the clown has to be Partho because from your pairing you could only get Cryptons. You couldn't get clown.
I couldn't get clowns at all. No, it would only be Cryptons or hets.
Yes.
Or double hets, yeah.
Yeah, so you could get het cryptic with het clown or one or the other, but not a full double dose of the het clown, which would make a visual, which is what you got.
Right.
Which is what led to and that was 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 that was that?
7 eggs, and it was just the one. Thank God, because the Cryptons, I don't want to say have more value, but that's what we're shooting for. And a super pastel clown, I don't know, they're probably about $700 or something like that. I don't know, but I don't want to talk numbers because some people get offended when you start looking at dollars or whatever. But that's I'm just happy it was just one and not the whole clutch. And I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you were saying. Never mind. I got you. You're thankful that you had your Cryptons, not a whole bunch of clowns coming out.
Yes. And somebody asked me too. He goes, "Well, does that mean that clown's going to be Het Desert Ghost?" And the answer is no. It has nothing to do with the father at all. Somehow that one particular egg was by itself and created the Partho, which is that's what's very rare because it happens. I talked to some other people. I talked to Will Morose. He said that he had one where it was like 1 or 2 that came out from the Partho and the rest were from the father and mother together.
Right.
So it happens. It's just very rare. And it happens more often where you get the whole clutch where they're partho, but for a partial partho, it's very rare for that to happen.
Yeah, so. that really caught my attention when you showed that. And I usually think people overcomplicate things. So my initial thought is like, why would we think that? But from that pairing, it's what it had to be. That's why you thought it.
Yeah, it's the first time, Mom. It's never been paired. Nothing else has ever been thrown in there.
Cool. Yeah, even more so then.
Well, I mean, I've talked to different people because I just wanted to make sure that, I kind of knew what it was, but I just wanted to get other feedback just because it was very strange that only one of them was a clown, and some others told me that it's happened to them throughout the years too. So, that was the first time thing that's ever happened to me in one season with 17 clutches, 4 things that are very rare to happen. Twins, the no eyes, bubble eye, and partho. So hopefully those 4, and I don't have to get those anymore. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, you're all done with those then.
Exactly.
No, I didn't have any, knock on wood. I just had 2 clutches, but 7 and 8 eggs on those, and no slugs, all healthy, all alive. I've got, like I said, I've got 3 that aren't eating yet. So, maybe that's where some of my bottom falls out. But
is that 7 from the same, or 3 from the same clutch?
Nope, 2 and 1. 2 from the first clutch and 1 from the second. So one's got more weight. There, like I say, there's the one that's worrying me a little bit. The other one I might give another offer it. Actually, it's got a hopper, and today was feeding night, so for them. So we'll see. Maybe there's hope. Maybe tonight's the night that they'll take them.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, that's out of just only 2 clutches, and you got 3. That's kind of like a high percentage, I guess.
That's what I was gathering from what you were saying.
Yeah, I think I had 1 last year. I had 1 the year before. I mean, that's something you're going to have to learn to do. If you're breeding, you're going to have to learn how to do that kind of stuff, so
right.
Practice.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not in a rush to, but I also don't want to sit by idly for too long. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Like I say, one of them's under 40 grams now, which is kind of worrying me. The others are still at around 60 grams. They'll be fine for another week or 2, and then we'll see.
How many eggs were in the clutch?
The one with 2 not feeding, there was 8 in that one.
Okay, I was going to say 60 grams. That's on the smaller size, so it must have been a larger clutch, which 8 would be. Yeah.
And the 7 egg clutch, those are already at around 80 grams on those. Now they've had 1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah, today was that clutch's 3rd feeding. They've had 2 already. So you got all those racks. Why don't you show us some cool stuff you got going on? What are you excited about? There you just lit up, man. That's what I'm talking about. What do you want to show off, man?
Well, I mean, God, a lot of the stuff I have is double hits. Let's see, I could show you the males that I'm running with to the Cryptons.
Actually, I was going to say, do you want to show off any of the hatchlings, or you prefer not to handle them yet?
No, I can show them off.
Yeah, why don't you show off some of the Cryptons as well?
This is the one I got from Ozzy. It's a double het clown pod. It's it's a black magic, which is black pastel Mojave, and he's probably 700-800 grams. Of course, he's acting like a ball, and I think he's actually going in the shed because he does look a little dull. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And then here's another one. I didn't even mention this one. Of course, he's in shed. This here, and he's got this thing here's been destroying food every week. Sometimes he wants a second meal. But are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, this is a one that I picked up from Brittany Gobble. It's actually a double het, possible triple het. So it's a monsoon. It's a het monsoon, het lavender, possible het pied.
Oh, what a monster! All right.
Yeah, and he's been killing. He's been growing real nice. I actually threw him in with a bongo ultramale female that I have, just to get the bongo and the monsoon. Yeah, he's in shed, man. You can really, when he's not in shed, you can really see a really cool looking head stamp and stuff. So, but yeah, that's another project I'm working on for when you're asking about the recessive stuff. So yeah, I'm actually working on. You can actually pick out the hets most likely in a lot of the monsoon stuff. So, and a friend of mine actually has a female het monsoon that he's grown up. So we're gonna be buying those down, within the next couple of years or something.
Is that bongo ultra male handy?
Yeah, she. I don't know if she's gonna go for me though. I paired her because she's one of the ones that went off feed. And one of the tricks is sometimes if you throw a male in with a female, it'll get them going again. Actually, she did eat. I did throw a mouse in there. I did throw a mouse in there, and she ate the mouse 2 days ago. So I need to just try to work on getting her size up. She's probably about 1,200 grams though.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, she's about. I'm trying to hold it up with the camera. I don't have much ultra male. It's kind of funny how I ended up getting this from Winston. What was it? WIS. He does a lot of really, really high end stuff.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's her right there. Yeah, I forgot I did offer her a mouse. That's one of the tricks. If you have some adults that are not eating, you can offer them an ASF. A lot of people say they love ASFs, but I find that not to be true. I breed all my own rodents too. I got ASFs, mice, and the Norwegian rats.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes it takes just a mouse to get them going, or even a smaller mouse, and then they'll take that first meal and then they'll start going again. So maybe I can get her up to size. Yeah, let me show you some Cryptons that we just hatched out.
Hey, if you're just joining us, thank you for being here tonight. Feel free to drop your links and name in the comments section. That is Jeremy from Baud's Exotic Reptiles, and this is Proper Royals Live. I sent Jeremy on a wild goose chase here because I'm kind of a junkie for Cryptons. So he's got some babies that we're about to check out here.
Yeah, these are actually the split that me and Mike Smith are doing. But this one here,
Jeremy, hold them up just a little higher because your name, the little name tag that you might not see, blocks them out. That's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a super pastel Crypton.
Yep.
Actually, all three of these are. But that's all I had was like either pastel or super pastel Cryptons.
Right.
I'm holding it up. This one's hissing. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
And so they kind of have the clown head with like the really jumbled up body.
Yeah, like the alien heads are like really pinched together. And I'll show you a regular pastel that I have growing up. And the eye stripe. See how skinny the black part is on the eye stripe there?
Yep.
Tell me if I'm not holding it up correctly. I can't see that.
No, you're good on that. Yeah.
Okay, so the black part, the black eye stripe is going to be really, really skinny. And then the top part where it's lighter is going to be a lot wider. And then, yeah, it kind of has like the clown head, as you can see there. So, yeah, these are just super pastel Cryptons. Het Desert Ghost, so I throw that in there. Yeah, we actually got a few out of there. And let me show you one of my one of the females that I think might go for me this year. She's about 1,400 grams. This is just a regular pastel. Now, if you look at this one, the eye stripe falls short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
see,
that's a Crypton?
That's a Crypton there.
Okay.
Trying to get the angle right. But yeah, you can see.
Clearly you can see it now.
Yeah, it's like you move left, it goes right, and vice versa.
Yeah, I know. That's why I went at the beginning when I was like, I don't know which side he's on because
So yeah, I thought that all the Cryptons, because I hatched these out last year, and all the three Cryptons looked like this, and they had the short eye stripe like a puzzle does.
Yep.
So I thought they all did that. But then after seeing those other ones, the black part of the eye stripe goes all the way up to the eye, unlike these here. So I talked to Billy and Will, and they told me that there's a little variation in that eye stripe, but you can definitely tell by the head.
Yeah, kind of that pattern on the back side of their head goes straight into the neck, like it would on a clown.
Yeah. Here's another one that's it's just a pastel, but it's got a lot more blushing. So there is a little variance in that, or variation. This girl here, she might be going in the shed though. She's probably going to look a little dull.
No, she's pretty electric still.
Yeah, but see how there's a lot more blushing?
Yep.
And then, but you could see, I'm trying to spin around.
Yeah, very thin stripes.
Yeah, the eye stripe falls short. And then the hatchings I just showed you, I don't know if I was saying it, but yeah, the eye stripe, the black part of the eye stripe goes all the way through, but it's thinner. And let me show you another one, which, bear with me. All right, now this is a male, and I originally thought that this is just a normal. There's no pastel on there.
Yeah.
But I've showed this off to a couple others, and they said that this is also a Crypton, even though the head's not really light. But look how thin that eye stripe is.
Yeah, super thin eye stripe.
And then how big it is on the top.
Yep.
And then here's a normal that I just brought, so you can see. You can tell the difference. So from what I've talked to, a couple people that work with Crypton said that this male is actually a Crypton, even though the alien heads are not. It may be a low expression Crypton, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, and the cool thing about those is they're such powerful breeders because they're all double hets for clown and cryptic.
Yeah. Well, actually, this I don't know how you would. They say double hets. It's actually technically a triple het. Because it's het cryptic, het clown, and het desert ghost.
Sorry, you had the desert ghost. Yeah, triple het.
Yeah, but what are the rules on the triple het? Because it's not like you can pair this and get a triple visual. You know what I mean? Because it's either going to be clown or cryptic. You're not going to get cryptic, clown, and desert ghost, but they still call it a triple het. So that there confuses a lot of people when you start talking about, the Cryptons and stuff. So,
but you could get a desert ghost, you could get a clown, and you could get a cryptic.
Right. You can't get it in one animal though. No, you cannot get it.
So
to me, a triple het would be, say, like a pied, clown, hypo. You got a triple het, and then you put it to another triple het, then you'll get a visual clown, visual pied, visual hypo with all three. That's
cheating. Yeah, that's not cheating because I'm doing it too. But that's it's not cheating if both of us are doing it. But no, you're right. I get you on that. Yeah, you can't get. It doesn't exist. Clown cryptic doesn't exist.
So to me, it's almost like 2.5 het.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So let me put these guys back. I don't know. Did you say you wanted show and tell?
Yeah.
All right. This is actually an animal that Mike Smith, he purchased from me. This is it's pretty neat. Let's see if I can tell. I'm learning how to spin this thing around. But this is a cinnamon lesser orange dream yellow belly 100% het clown or het pied female.
Really? And it washes out that much.
You see the black where the belly that's how you know it's the yellow belly. And the washing out is because of the orange dream. And you can just tell with the colors that the cinnamon's in there. Or was it cinnamon? Yeah, that the cinnamon and the lesser are in there.
Yeah, it's definitely got that green glow like lessers have.
Yeah, and this thing was very light when it came out of the egg, but look at where the belly meets the pattern. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's going to darken up as she ages, but yeah, Mike will have her, so I'm sure he'll send me some pictures upon request.
Real cool.
And this is one of the animals I picked up from Matt Jablowski, Matt J. Reptiles.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about this one earlier, huh?
Yeah, I got a pair of these. This is the female. Yeah, this is just a pure candy hide. Yeah. So it's one of the double recessives.
Really beautiful. I just picked up a candy myself, female.
Yeah, I love them. And the thing is, the story that I hear about candies and why they kind of fell off the radar is because the lavender albinos came out.
Right.
And because of the candy being allelic with albino supposedly hurt them because people didn't, or it hurt the gene because people really didn't understand the allelic back then. At least that's a story that I've heard. But I'm pretty sure it's having a comeback.
Oh, I think so too. I actually did a whole video on investing in candy versus lavender right here, right now. And I think candy's a better investment right now, just because of what you said. There's still so much upside for it.
So much to do with it. It kind of has, I don't want to say the banana. I don't want to say it has the banana colors, but it's kind of like a cross between lavender and banana without the speckles.
It's like the prettiest banana you ever seen, I think. Yeah.
All right, let me go set these back.
Okay. Nice. We got 13 viewers on the live stream. Thank you all for being here. If you're just joining and you see an empty seat there at Jeremy's seat, it's because he's frantically grabbing various snakes that he's showing off. It's awesome. Sit tight for just a second. All right, what do we got?
All right, here we have an Orange Dream Blade Clown female that I got out of just a double het.
Wow.
Obviously, double het clown, Orange Dream, and the other one was Blade. But yeah, this is... Obviously, I'm keeping this one back because I need some more female clowns. I don't have many of them at all. But yeah, there's that one there. And this is a project I actually just got into. It's a redhead mandarin yellow belly. It's a boy.
Man, did you see that mandarin at the Daytona show? It was like a super mandarin paradox.
Who had it?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Was it Dad? Was it Dad?
To be honest, I wouldn't know if you said it, to be honest.
Did he have like the biggest display?
No.
All right, yeah. No. This is who I got this animal from. Was from Chris Davenport. All right, Mike, this is your other one you just asked to see. It's a banana 100% het clown male that's a female maker.
Yep.
And I believe she is 66% het pied as well. But look at the lavenders on that. I think it's just that het influence, man, really has those, like, almost like candy with the speckles.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But the lavenders on this are, I don't know, it really looks pretty.
Mark, you still in the audience? That's what your girl's going to look like. Man, it is just that lavender. I got a clutch of banana het clowns with a few other things going on too, but one of them looks just strikingly like that.
I think the het, I know that the het really influences the coloring of them. You get tired of animals, just tell me.
If any of y'all watching are looking for banana het clowns, I've got males and females. The males will be female makers, and of course the female bananas are pretty special in their own right. So you can email me or check out the Morph Market store. The email is properroyals@gmail.com. and the Morph Market. All the social handles are Proper Royals. Same with Morph Market as well. Mark, yours doesn't have any spots on it yet, though.
I was going to show some banana inchy het clown, 66% het pieds that I have, but they're on deep shed. So,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What don't you have? I mean, I know we all want everything, but what's next on your target list? What do you have in your sights to purchase or pick up?
I really don't know, man. I spent so much money this year. This year was our investment year. Like we can. How much time we got? How long do we do?
We're in overtime right now, but we started late and we're having a good time, so we'll keep it going.
Okay, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good too.
Oh, nice.
So now I lost my train of thought. What was the question you just asked?
Well, I was asking you what was next, and you said that this year was kind of the year of investment, so you're probably caught up on a lot of what you're looking for.
Yeah. I'm going to take a break on picking up any other stuff. I do have boas, and there is another boa that I want to get for one of my projects. They're all hatchlings though. They got like 3 years before I can even do anything with those.
Yeah.
As far as ball pythons, I don't know. I was thinking maybe picking up an ultra pied.
Yeah.
An ultra clown, something in the double recessive. I try to buy. Actually, you know what? I do have 3 other animals that I don't have yet.
Oh yeah?
I don't even have any pictures. Let me see if I can pull them up. These are like.
About them, yeah.
Let me bear with me. See if I pull them up on my phone. I don't know how well it's gonna come up on the picture. I know. These are 3 animals that I just put a heavy deposit on. Probably like one of my largest investments so far. Just because I wanted to get some more clown stuff. Okay, this one here, and obviously you can. Well, there's a glare. You can kind of see who it's from, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, now that is a it's a hurricane, red stripe, yellow belly, pastel, visual clown male.
Yep.
And then I got 2 girls from them, but they're hets. The female, I wanted to get the hurricane, and I wanted to get Wookiee. Actually, my wife loves the Wookiee. She likes the white comes up on the sides, versus the chocolate clowns.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting 2 females that are 100% het clown. One is a Wookiee. I'm trying to think here. It's a Wookiee Enchi red stripe pastel, 100% het clown. And the other female is just a regular Wookiee clown.
Okay.
Het clown. Yeah.
Het clown.
So yeah, there's 3 other animals that I totally forgot about. I don't have them yet. I can't even get them because of they're being imported till probably January or February. So,
gotcha.
So yeah, I was able to jump on those. By the way, saying that, if you do like anything like that Will has, and you're looking to get some higher end stuff, he is offering his animals to Patreon members first before they hit Morph Market. And I've seen a lot of animals on his ads go within seconds, within minutes, so it's worth the fee for the Patreon,
Yeah.
If he wants to jump onto that. A lot of people are doing that now. So
yeah, I've seen that. So and you're on Morph Market, right?
Yes, I'm on Morph Market.
You still have inventory on there right now, or are you sold out?
No, I got about 18 animals.
Okay, cool.
On there right now. I got some double het clown genetic stripe, but they're all males. Let me show you this other male. If he's not in shed, he's only a double het, but I think he looks really cool.
Okay.
Like I said, if you're getting tired of me pulling snakes, just tell me, okay? So I gotta have it doing that. Yeah, I just think the way this guy looks, he's a double. He's a keeper. He's I'm raising him up to be one of my breeders. I just like I like striped animals, and he has that solid stripe.
Yeah.
But he's a butter, yellow belly, pastel, double het genetic striped clown. And I got 3 girls in that project that I'm raising up. So
yeah, he looks great.
The genetic striped clown. You asked me about my double recessive. That's another one I forgot about. And here's another one that I picked up from Will. It's a lace yellow belly het clown.
Okay.
Man, I can't get them to their heads.
Yeah, that yellow belly does look. I know I'm not familiar with lace, but the yellows in that are just real vibrant with the het clown, huh?
Check out look at when you get a chance. Look what a lace clown or a yellow belly lace clown looks like.
Okay.
And then also look at white lace yellow belly. The white lace yellow belly will blow you away when you see that. I don't think it's been done in a clown yet, so it'll just be, just a normal, or not a normal, but it ain't going to be recessive. But yeah, check out a yellow belly white lace. So white lace is 2 copies of lace. It's basically a super lace.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's nuts when you see that. It's pretty bad when you forget about what animals and projects you got working on.
Well, so I was a little like, what's your I don't know, in conversationally, what's your workflow like on that many animals? You for those of y'all that missed it, I think you said you got about 150 right now, 60 females,
give or take. Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's 40. I'd say 60 breeder females that are breeder size.
Oh yeah,
because this rack is actually, see all the pink labels?
Yeah.
All the pinks are females, and I have another rack here that's pretty much all females. They're all growing up. They're the smallest ones in those racks are probably like 900 grams. So
okay, all right. So those are coming around.
I got a lot. Now, what was your question?
Like, what's the workflow? Do you obviously, I'm guessing that you and I are kind of guys who probably hang out in there a little bit every day at least, but like
every day when I get home, I come in and I check the tubs. When one sheds, I'll put like a red clip on the tub, and then every few days I'll just do a full cleaning on those tubs with the red clip. But every day I'm in here, like as soon as I get off of work, and it's not because I have to, I just love it.
Right.
I can't get enough of it. I work by myself. I'm in new construction. I do kitchen cabinets and new construction. I'm usually in the house by myself.
Yep.
So usually in channels like what you have here is what I listen to during the day. So I love that's how I found you.
Yeah.
I love listening to this stuff because it's not a lot of visual stuff. I mean, it's not like egg cutting. It's a lot of talking and stuff. So I can listen to the background. So I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. Like here's another one, Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't know if you've seen or not.
Yeah, I've seen some of his.
Yeah, he's got a really good podcast. I was actually on that 15 Minutes Lane.
Oh, cool.
But the rodents probably is the worst part of the job. But I do have somebody that comes out and helps me. It takes maybe six hours, to clean all the rodents that I have.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't. You say workload, but I can't really call this work. It's some. It's some people like playing video games. I like touching my snakes.
Yep.
That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean.
And then before we wrap up, I got to ask you about Daytona. So you were vending at Daytona, which has got to be cool. Was that your first time doing that, or you vended there before?
No, I did it last year too. Matt Jablowski had a table, but his mother was a little ill, so he offered it to me. So I had to walk with his name tag, Matt Jablowski. Everybody's calling me Matt. Oh, you're Matt. I said, I know. So last year was my first year. This is my second year, and I'm going to do those every year because those been pretty good for me. So
yeah, that was a killer show, and I've not been to Tinley Park or Arlington, but you could see the difference in that caliber of a show versus the local Repticons and things like that.
Yeah. Now, for all the new people that I don't know how many people are just kind of getting started in this, and you do hear a lot of people say buy high end stuff, and that's what I hear a lot. You want to buy the higher end stuff and breed those, and don't just go out and get like really low end stuff. And I guess my point is, it's scary to drop a lot of money on an animal, especially when it's your first year. My most expensive animal, the first expensive animal was $600 for a pastel Enchi Mojave female, and that was scary, and I had it shipped to me. And when you're first starting out, you don't know really how the business is, and taking chances like that, it feels like a big gamble. But once you kind of start selling snakes and you see how the business works and that it's just continuously growing, you'll hear a lot of these old schoolers tell you that they've been told that it's saturated and the business is not going to last long, and they've been hearing this stuff for 15 years. Right. And I've only been doing this for 4 years. And like I said earlier, that this year has been my investment year. I bought these racks. I think it was like close to $9,000 in these racks. I just got them all at once just to be done with it. And I spent a lot of money on animals this year, and that's mainly because last year was a really good year for us. We were producing, we had 20 clutches, and we're seeing that there's a really good market and there's an interest, and the market's just growing more and more. It's because of channels like yours. Social media is bringing a lot more people into this. They were saying, I can't remember, it was an old podcast. It was probably like 7 years ago when they did a podcast, but I listened to it. It was like last year. I wouldn't, if it's a project I'm reading this thing here.
Yeah, that's Mark's there. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a project that you enjoy and you're going to like looking at every time you open up the tub, I would say go for it, man. Just make sure you do it correctly. Don't get a bunch of males and no females like everybody says, but because of social media, it's like bringing out, letting everybody. And now what I was saying is, I listened to a podcast that was probably like 7-8 years ago when they put it out, but I've heard it last year. And one of the things they said was, years ago, and remember, this is 7 years ago that this podcast was put out. Yeah. They said that 3% of Americans had reptiles, and a few years back prior to that podcast. And at the time of the podcast, which was 7 years ago or whatever, they said that 6% actually have them now. I don't know how they come up with that study. I'm sure they figured it out. But that, if you think about it, that's double of 3% to 6%. That's double the people are now having reptiles as pets and stuff, So I don't know what the percentage is now. And I'm sure you could probably look it up somehow, but it's just something that's growing and growing. So the business is good, and it's just continuously growing. So don't be afraid to spend a little money on animals and investments and stuff. Just don't make the mistake like what I almost did and just try to get like really huge and go out and get 1,000 animals or anything like that, because you're going to find out that rodents aren't cheap.
And the upkeep can be brutal if you're not paying attention to it.
Right. And I even thought about, like, I have a lot of females that are single gene or just 2 genes or whatever. They're egg layers, though. I mean, I could put a clown combo and make hets and do something well with it. But there's a couple times I thought about maybe just moving some of my adult proven breeders, which I'll probably do that. I'll probably wait till my 148 fill up and then, do like the Aussie plan I was talking about earlier. But, if I can go back, a lot of those single gene stuff, I probably would have spent the extra money and kept the collection smaller and grew it that way and just hold back way. But, I get it. When you first starting, you first getting into the business, your first snake is just a pastel female or something.
You just want a taste of the action.
Yeah. You just want to go crazy and get more and more. And the thing is a lot of people think, oh, I got this many, and they just want to keep getting more. But you just got to be smart about your investments and stuff. So And I learned that. And I don't regret anything that I've done. I bought a lot of collections. Every collection that I bought, I picked out what I wanted and I sold the rest. And I always made a lot more than what I paid for the collection.
Yep.
You know, so.
Yeah. And that's, if you've had something like that before snakes, where you have kind of that experience. So for me, it was guitars. I used to go to auctions and I could buy 3, 4, 5 guitars. And I really was only going because I wanted one. But if I could make the money on the other 4 to pay for that one, that meant my day at that auction was free. And I just scored a free Gibson for, you know, an afternoon of auction work. And then the time it took to sell those other 4 guitars. And I see some analogies in snakes that way as well. I keep I'm not a big fan of Craigslist, and especially buying live animals on Craigslist, but I do keep an eye on it. And there are some deals to be had out there, and people that just want to get rid of something in bulk, where if you have some cash on hand, you can make, not even aggressive, you can make an honest deal that works for them and works for you. In the way that you're talking about as well. I've had that happen a couple times as well.
You just got to be very careful on any animal that you ever buy. Like, you know, if you're seeing a collection, and you just got to really look it over and make sure that, you know, visually that they're healthy, and definitely quarantine, because there's stuff out there that it can destroy your whole collection. You know,
the whole thing. Yep.
I have a whole separate, this house that I'm in is actually my pool house. I call it my snake facility. It's not the house I live in. It's in the backyard of my main house. Yep. 720 square foot. I have one room that's our Uramastic, ornate Uramastic room.
Uh-huh.
And then the bathroom that's in here, I actually built this house from the ground up. It was actually a pool house. You know, my daughter lived in it for a little bit. But the bathroom is where I have my quarantine rack, and any adults that I ever get, like I bought a couple adults on at the auctions at Daytona.
Yep.
So I keep them in there, you know, 3-6 months. And I told you the water bowl trick, you know.
Yes.
So if I ever do pair, you know, I'm not gonna keep the water in, at least until I had them for at least 6 months and know that there's no any issues or nothing like that. So
yeah. I will say a caveat on when I talk about buying and selling, you know, flipping is the kind of the negative way that people put it. But fact is, we all buy and sell these animals. But yeah, it's got to go through a full quarantine. These got to be healthy animals before I go selling them again. And that's not only a personal standard, that's a standard for the industry, where like we got to do that to look out for each other too.
Yeah. And my Craigslist package deals or whatever, those days are over for me. I'm not doing those anymore.
Yeah.
I took some risks that I didn't even know were risks in the past when I first did that. Thank God everything's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to never buying out any packages or anything like that in the future, as long as I know the person real well and know their collection and stuff like that, you know.
You know, if you listen to almost any entrepreneur, though, snakes aside, there's something in their story that's that way. You know, oh, when I first started, I had no idea, but I did what I had to do to get by, and not criminally, I don't mean it that way, but you take a chance, and sometimes what you don't know is it will bite you, and other times in retrospect you go, I got away with it. Okay.
One of the things I like doing about these shows is I go around and I talk to a lot of people. I've met so many friends, you know, through these shows, and once you get to know them and you know, you guys have like a relationship, you know, they'll share some of their do's and don'ts, you know. So I've learned a lot just from talking to different people and stuff. So
that's what I love on it. It's funny because some people have said something like to me, like, oh, it's great. How'd you learn all that? And I'm like, I actually don't know a whole lot. I find amazing people that are willing to spend their time with me. And like you say, I listen and I learn and I try and find out the do's and the don'ts, or I get a nice comment that might not even sound nice, but the message in it and the knowledge in it is incredibly valuable. Mm-hmm. And listen and learn and grow and be willing for me is be willing to be a good student is what I try and do. And whether it's been music or my profession, frankly, my family as well, like those lead to good results. And I love that. So
And it's a good time to get into this because like I said, I talk to a lot of people, and there's some that'll tell you 15, 20 years ago, nobody was offering any information to help you out. If anything, they're trying to, turn you the opposite way, into failure because they don't want to have any competition. But, the things have changed so much from, I mean, I wasn't in the game that, back then, but just listening and talking to different people, how people used to not help you versus nowadays, Yep. I wouldn't get information from Facebook. Like, stay away from the Facebook groups, man. Talk to some reputable breeders that or meet or whatever if you have some questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, find the ways to connect. Whether for all 9 of them that ignore you, there's that 10th one that'll reply to you, and that's kind of how it works with me getting guests on here. And it was Kai up front, Lucas Landon Royals, was really great to me out of the blue. He was just like, yeah, I'll join the show. And Stephen and Courtney were on earlier as well. I met them in person, but Kai was a pretty big deal for me. I think he was my second guest, and a ton of other people had said no or ignored me and they don't owe me anything. I don't take any of it personally. But I will tell everybody out there, you can connect with somebody who knows what's up. Be humble, be kind, value their time, try not to waste it and that sort of thing. But there's people out there that'll help a lot. And I need to get like a purchase link. I don't make any money from hawking this thing, but I've been loving this book. It's called Show Your Work. It's written for like a quick read. It's a quick 2-hour kind of little deal. But it talks about a lot of what we're talking about and how people willing to share and work openly rather than with their elbows out and blocking people out become far more successful, have far more to show for it, have far more of a community supporting them so that when things do go sideways, you got somebody to help you. And so what I'm saying is thank you. I appreciate you being on tonight, Jeremy.
Great. I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you now? And we didn't talk about one thing, your YouTube content. You do a lot on YouTube. What do you got coming up? Why should people check that out? What do you cover on that?
I think I told you before, I'm not very, I don't work with computers and not very techish, so, I mean, I got people telling me, oh, the lighting's bad. And, trying to figure out a lot of different things. I just keep it raw. Yeah. I don't know. I like doing it though. So, I mean, I don't have a ton of subscribers or anything like that, but I just like doing it, and,
you keeping it raw is, and when he says raw, if y'all haven't seen his videos, it's honest. It's not polished up. I think there's a little bit of editing, but not much. But
there's editing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you're not cutting stuff out. I mean, there's plenty of places where you're just you, and your wife is on there with you. We get to see an honest connection between you two, an honest connection with your snakes, the honest excitement with the eggs. I didn't mean anything by not saying it's not edited. I mean that it doesn't feel like you're pitching something that ain't.
I don't have all the bells and whistles and all that. I like, I don't even know how when you're. I mean, I use iMovie, and I don't even know. I think I've seen you do it on one of your videos where you'll get the little YouTube video and it'll be like an automated thing. It'll push I don't even know how you do that,
That took me like 2 weeks of Googling and figuring out how to make it. I'll show you sometime. But yeah, maybe that's what I'll do in my next video. The thing is, though, if you click on it, it doesn't do anything. You still have to go down to the actual subscribe button and hit that. It doesn't do anything if you click on that part.
Yeah, I just, I mean, some people showed me or tried showing me a few different things, but it's just easier for me to keep it raw. I mean, I got a full-time job, then I mess with all these, so.
That's right.
And a lot of people tell me they like it raw. So, well, now the next video, and the way I like to do videos is how I like to watch them. Like if I'm watching an egg cutting video, I can't remember who it was that actually shows them after they shed and everything. So that's how I do mine now. I try to, when I
did notice that. Yeah, you showing the parents the egg cutting, and then you've waited like 3-4 weeks to publish it so you can show
after they
Results
come
once
out
they
and shit
shed,
and all that. Yeah. So I actually got another one I gotta do with these Cryptons that are in the incubator and some of the ones that I've shown. I got the egg cutting part already obviously done.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm gonna do them both together because they're both basically the same. A lot of them look the same, so I don't think two separate videos with the same type of mother, you know. So I'll keep them all together as one video. But that's the next one. That one's a little comical because John, I call him Big John. He was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, but he's in a couple of my videos. He doesn't like to show his face a whole lot, but you hear his voice in the background. But that one's a little funny. So hopefully you guys enjoy that when I put that out there. It'll probably be another week or so when that's out there. So
very nice. Well, Jeremy, I want to say thanks. You've always been gracious to me. Certainly behind the scenes, man, you've been keeping up with me and guiding me along. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stay in touch with you. Come back again. You got too much going on not to come back, man, on the projects and the cool stuff that you'll have. And I'll be in touch. I hope I see you in Tampa.
I'll be in Tampa. I'll be with my name won't be on the table because it'll be under Steve's morphs. But yeah, just look for him. He's usually got a pretty big table or setup.
Steve's usually got big tables. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll text you and we'll catch up. So thank you very, very much. Everybody check out Jeremy's YouTube channel, Morph Market, and Instagram. Baud's Exotic Reptiles is what you're looking for on that. And at this point, I'm rambling, but thank you very, very much, Jeremy. Thanks, everybody.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you very much.
Most definitely. Stick around for just a minute. Don't leave on there. Everybody in the audience, thanks so much. Mark, cheers to you as well. We'll see you all next time. We'll end the show how we started it. Night night.